What's up YouTube, Zero here, and today I'm going to be doing a quick comparison video between the M4A1 and the Grau in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So before we get into it, I do want to say that if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Call of Duty content. It does really help out me and my channel, and I do appreciate it and thank you in advance. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first, let's talk about the base statistics of these two guns. The M4A1 has greater accuracy, fire rate, and control, while the Grau has greater range and mobility. Both of these do the same amount of damage. Now let's talk about the major differences when it comes to the attachments of these two guns. When we take a look at the muzzle category, these are pretty similar. Both of them have the same attachments in the muzzle category. It's when we get to the barrel that we start to see differences. So there is one major difference when it comes to the effects of the barrel, and I'll talk more about the barrels in general. So the M4A1 gets an FSS 12.4 Predator, which actually does sound suppression and increases aim down sight speed, while decreasing that bullet velocity. Now this is extremely interesting because the Grau doesn't get that. If you want your barrel to do sound suppression, then you can do that on the M4, kind of a two birds with one stone, but you can't do that on the Grau. However, the Grau does have a ZLR Drifter A-08, which does aim down sight speed, movement speed, and recoil control at the cost of damage range and bullet velocity. It is worthy of noting that that takes away from the underbarrel category, so another two birds with one stone, but this time on the Grau. However, it does not do sound suppression, so that's a huge difference. Something else to note is that the Grau has a few barrels that actually change the iron sight, which actually make the Grau more appealing. Both of these iron sights, it's really pick your poison. Do you like one? Do you like the other? I don't really see a huge advantage when we look at the normal iron sight, but when we get into the iron sight changes caused by the barrel on the Grau, we start to see a huge difference, and I'm gonna give my edge to the Grau in that category because there are some definitely amazing iron sights that come out of the different barrels on the Grau. Now when we go down further in the different categories, we're going to see a difference when we get to the stock category. The Grau only gets 3 stocks, while the M4A1 gets 4, and the difference is a forged TAC CQS stock, which increases that aim down sight speed at a decrease of aiming stability. Just something to note. Then when we get into the underbarrel category, the M4A1 gets a bipod that the Grau does not. Then moving on, we go into the magazine category, where the Grau gets a 50 and 60 round mag. The M4A1 also gets that 50 and 60 round mag, while also getting a 9mm para 32 round mag and a .458 SOCOM 10 round mag. So if you want to increase fire rate and recoil control at the cost of damage range with that 9mm, or if you want to increase the damage and the range at a cost of fire rate, recoil control, and magazine ammo capacity, you can do that on the M4A1 that you can't do on the Grau. So those are the major differences when we talk about the attachment category. So now let's get into the subjective part of the review, where I give my opinion on which gun I prefer and why. It is worthy of noting that there are more attachment variations on the M4. We just went through it. We saw that there were a lot of differences, a lot of different combinations that we can do on the M4A1. So if you want a gun that's more customizable, maybe you want to decrease your damage while increasing your fire rate, you could do that on the M4. Maybe you want to decrease that magazine size, but do a whole bunch more damage. You could do that on the M4 that you can't do on the Grau. So if you want more customization, I'd go with the M4. Closer range battles, the M4 all day in my opinion. I think that it's a very reliable gun, a very well-rounded gun. However, if we're going for those longer range combat scenarios, I would probably go with the Grau. I think the Grau is a great assault rifle over those longer ranges and can definitely help you out, especially in Warzone. In Warzone, if I'm going to run an overkill setup, if I'm going to use the M4, I'm going to pair it with a sniper. If I'm going to use the Grau, I'm going to pair it with a submachine gun. Overall, personally, I prefer the M4. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Well, until next time, peace.